That's
the
pretty
basking shark. These sharks can live in cold as well as warm temperature.
Ooh. Versatile.
Their diet consists only of plankton.
Plankton? They just eat plankton?
Yeah.
Another reason I like it. Won't eat me, just eats plankton. That's hilarious.
Their mouths can be well over 3 feet.
Damn.
That's a big mouth.
That's a big mouth.
You know what you can do with that mouth?
Stop.
Eat lots of pizza.
All right, there you go. There you go. That's what I'm going to do. There you go. Then number 1, got to go The Great White Man. It's dope. There's been movies about that. There's so many movies about those. I love it. But that's our top 5 this week. We'll do another top 5 next time.
This was Top 5 Sharks.
God. It's just us trying stuff out. All right. What else is going on here? So,
we can talk about. So you heard about this incident with James Gunn. James Gunn came out with some tweets. He tweeted a whole bunch of there were like pedophile jokes.
Did he delete all the tweets?
No, I think that maybe he deleted them now.
I'm gonna look them up just in case, but keep going.
No, but they're really they're not good jokes at all. They're not funny. They're really like distasteful and inappropriate. But he wrote them like 10 years ago, and then he apologized. He apologized for them then, but then they came up again because he is someone who's outspoken against like Trump and the Republican Party and all that other stuff. And so these right-wing accounts on Twitter dived into his past Twitter stuff and found these tweets that he posted, and they blew up, and he got fired from... James Gunn is the director/writer of Guardians of the Galaxy, and so he got fired from the third one that's coming out. That he, I think, finished writing recently, and he got fired from the production.
Yeah.
But this is like something I want to talk about. Was like the whole, I don't know, firing people from things they said or wrote years ago, because people change, and
sure.
I'm certainly not the same person I was 10 years ago, and things I said back then. There's probably something I've said 10 years ago that could probably get me. I don't know. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. I don't remember what I said 10 years ago. And that's exactly my point.
Yeah. Well, I think with those kinds of things, like, it's just, I would say that it probably is more about a person's character to even say something like that in general. Like, in general, if you say something that's, like, I don't know what those jokes were. You brought this up today about James Gunn thing. I didn't know anything about it. But if you're going to say something like that, like, what was the tweet that he said? What did it say? So I can't find it.
Oh, they're pretty bad.
They're pretty bad? So then, like, but that's something, then, like, why would you say that? Like, you should just know that you shouldn't say that. Why would you say that?
Yeah. But that was
why would you say things like that?
That was his... In that time, that was his thing, and that was before...
Okay.
He was doing... I mean, it was different, and then he talks about how he changed over time. He doesn't do things like that anymore. Yeah. He used to be like that. He doesn't tell jokes like that anymore. Mm-hmm. He's not trying... Like, back then he was trying... His MO was that he was like this edgy, controversial guy, and so that's what he was doing like weird, edgy, controversial jokes. And he's like, that's not me anymore. I don't do that.
Yeah. It's kind of a pain that social media can bring back to. That's why you always have to be careful about it, though, especially if you're in the arts and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have to watch what you're doing. But yeah, I would necessarily, like, you have to. I think you need to take more into the fact of who the person is now. But there's been so many crappy people with Harvey Weinstein, all those situations that have happened.
Yeah. And
it's just like, it's hard to give people the benefit of the doubt because people are just being assholes and they're doing fucked up shit. And they're doing things that aren't okay. But yeah, I think if you're just talking about the idea of, like, bringing things back from someone's past, if it's something that they said, like, I'm totally different than what I was. I send you at least once a week one of those Facebook memory things, and they come up, and it's something that I posted on Facebook, And I would never in my life post anything like that on Facebook right now. I would say, like, some of them are so dumb. What was one I texted you?
About you, like, yelling, and when you yell, like, vagina in the theater or something. You're like, why are people mad when you yell vagina in the theater?
Why would I say that? Why? And why did I think that was cool when I was in middle school? Like, what the hell? But there's weird things like that.
Yeah.
But
it's like 2 years ago today, I said, can the world just not end before Suicide Squad comes out?
I don't know. That's not that bad, though.
No, that's terrible.
It's all right.
Suicide Squad is terrible.
Suicide Squad is terrible.
I was hyped for that movie, guys.
You were hyped.
And I said, can the world just not end before a suicide? I thought the world was ending. And I just didn't want it to end before Suicide Squad
just want to see Suicide Squad before it ended.
Can you believe how disappointed I was?
They're dumb. I have one where this isn't really this isn't one of the bad ones, but it's Loves, like 9 years ago, I posted, loves watching Colton fall out of my car. Colton was a friend of mine in like middle school and high school, and I do remember once we were driving and he was in the back of my Explorer.
I had an Explorer.
We went to this thing called Witch's Bridge in Grand Island, Nebraska, and it was like supposed to be haunted. So we had like 7 people. Like I packed my Explorer and everything, and something scary happened. We all sprint. Well, Colton jumped into the back. I thought he was in. He wasn't completely in. Didn't close the back of the car, and this is how I was just a horrible high schooler. And I drove off, and he rolls out the back of my car and is rolling on the gravel and starts crying like crazy. But it's just weird things. I just say weird things.
I guess the reason why people say things in the past that they regret down the line. But people also change.
True. And
they're not the same. Nobody's the same person they were 10 years ago.
No.
So I think it's not valid to... Well, I should take that back. I shouldn't... It is valid in some cases to bring up things that happened in people's pasts.
Yeah.
But in this case, in the James Gunn case, it's not valid to the person he is. He's not that person today. And people have come out and said that, and he said that.
Yeah.
So it's just like a big, because I think we also, as a country or as a people, have like this issue with like mob mentality, and while in some cases it is helpful, I guess, in extreme cases, but sometimes it just gets a bit excessive and insane when I think Twitter perpetuates this, is like this idea of just like of ganging up on people, and the left has done it, and now the right is coming back with it, and it's just ganging up on people and trying to ruin lives, because that's all we know to do now. Because in the world we're living in today, we don't know how to handle it, so we're just throwing our hands up in the air and we're like, we just gotta ruin people, I guess. And I don't know if that's the answer. I don't think that's the answer.
Whatever the answer, no.
I don't know what the answer to anything is. So I'm just rambling now. I really don't know what I'm talking about. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. We try to keep things lighthearted here.
Social media's a bitch.
But I'll also post a video of Dustin on the Facebook page.
Please don't.
I'm going to post that video.
Please don't post that.
Because it's great.
It's not great, and I don't.
You would not hire Dustin to take care of your kids.
Can you not? Don't say that. Don't say that.
His job will fire him after they see this video. We're taking you down, Dustin.
That's not true. That's a really aggressive thing to say.
Taking you down
on our own podcast. That's not okay. Oh, I hate. Facebook memory is the worst thing, but it's the funniest. There's also, I think my senior night in college, we had these senior superlatives, and we would all get, and it was like I was on the Wesleyan Theater Company, I was a vice president, and the next group comes up, and then they have to give out the superlatives to all the seniors. So they come up and they're like, it's usually catered to that specific person. It's supposed to be funny, like someone won like Mr. Shakespeare because he was in every Shakespeare that year, or the best mom was Kate, or whatever it is. But so Miles gives like a very nice speech about me, and I'm like crying, and then he goes, but then it gets to my superlative, and he's like, so Dustin had a problem in high school, and he's talking about all my posts and stuff. He had went through my face. I still don't know how you found that. But it was one where he reads my status about how I was openly pissing at my house in my yard. And a cop came up, and like I got pulled over by a cop or whatever because I was peeing in my own yard or whatever it was. And it was the funniest and weirdest thing, but I hate it. I hate it. It just reminds me how much of a horrible high schooler I was. But this is what we want to do now. We want to bring up our next little segment we're going to be doing, and it's going to be called That Damn Challenge. So what it is
you
that...
just make that up?
I just made that up right off the top of my head. Isn't that pretty good? That's what's, the Dustin and Miles Challenge.
Yeah.
I made that up. Connection. But so what we're doing for any listeners, what we're going to do is, if you want to, we want you to send in a certain challenge you want us to do, whether it's not drinking for a week, not drinking for a month, whatever it is. Do something for whatever the length amount of time it is, and we're going to pick the challenge, then we're going to stick with it. And you might be thinking, well, how do we know you're actually going to do it? You don't know. And if we fall off from it, we'll tell you we fell off from it or whatever it is. But thought it'd be just like a fun thing for us to do.
Yeah.
Experimenting up. So
yeah.
Send it in. I think one of my friends had told me one was the changing. Me and Miles were supposed to change clothes, and he wears my clothes for a week, and I wear his. I thought that was funny. But I have some in my head that we'll think of, and we're going to draw it, and then we're going to do that challenge, and then we'll do it for that length of time, and we'll tell you the process during the podcast and everything.
Yeah, I guess I don't know I guess just contact one of us.
Message us on our
Facebook
Facebook page.
Most of the people who are listening are friends of ours. So message
Send us a text.
Message us on the Facebook page.
We're going to have an Instagram page, so you guys can direct message off Instagram.
So however you know to communicate with us, just communicate with that to us.
Whatever it is.
Also, if you have any advice, and if you need advice, we give great advice. So if you have any questions about life, the meaning of everything, or
the meaning of everything,
or
and you want to hear Miles's view
to
on
brush
the
your
meaning
teeth,
of everything,
or what kind of shampoo you should use.
Right, if you don't know
really
how to brush your teeth, you should get that figured out.
But anyway, that was That Damn Podcast.
All right.
We're glad you're listening. You are a valuable person.
There we go.
We love you very much. Thank you for listening to our podcast and for being a loyal fan and a loyal listener.
Who do you want to give your shout out to this week?
I will give a shout out to Boots Riley.
Boots Riley.
Who directed,
shout out to Boots Riley.
And directed Sorry to Bother You, the movie. He retweeted me today on Twitter.
You're very happy about that.
Yeah.
You're very happy posted. I'm going to give a shout out to Ethan Ness and Brittany Gossett for their... I already gave that shout out earlier, but yeah, for Thin Space Productions. So check them out. Go help them raise their show for Harpies Are Dead, right? Again?
Harpies for the Dead.
Harpies for the Dead.
Harpies.
But shout out to Ethan and Brittany for that and their fundraiser they put together. So peace out, podcast fam. We'll see you later.
Yeah.